Hola, Geek fans! Welcome back. It's time for another Shane Reads. And what did Jacob force me to read this week? He forced me to read Star Wars. Princess Leia. Jacob, the audience might have forgotten the deal by now, but we do this segment where Jacob gives me a comic book, I have to read it, and then we rate it on my bizarre medium system, because I'm kind of medium about comic books. I know we've been kind of touch and go in this segment. I'm a little sluggish about these comic books, but anyways, we're still doing it.
Yeah.
Tell them about Princess Leia. What's this about?
All right, so it starts off like right after episode 4. They just got done with the ceremony. They're she goes off, and then she gets in contact with this woman who hates her but is still loyal to her as a since she's still Princess Leia. But then she finds out that she wants to go on a mission to get all the other surviving Alderaanians that were on the planet when Alderaan blew up. So they want to get all them together and then basically
recreate an Alderaan in a new world.
Yeah.
That's kind of the impression I got.
Yeah, they want to make a new colony. Basically.
Yes, right. So and the reason you say he's loyal, that woman who doesn't really like Princess Leia is loyal to her is because she's from Alderaan.
Yeah.
Right. So she respects that tradition. So this is a story, like Jacob said, it's after the Death Star gets blown up. Right, the Princess Leia is right after the ceremony where they don't give Chewie a medal for, I don't know why they don't give him a medal, doesn't make any sense.
Well, actually, there's a book that's canon now where it reveals that he gets a medal.
All right then, fine, we'll go. Let's just go with it. So we go on this wacky adventure where she has to go to different planets, find these people from Alderaan, these refugees, or sometimes they're just on other ships or they're on other planets. Jacob, I'm going to tell you right away, I didn't like this.
Okay.
Man, I didn't like this for some of the same reasons I didn't like the other one. And I didn't like, the other one is the Star Wars...
it's just the main Star Wars ongoing series.
Right, so there's an ongoing Star Wars comic book, and in that comic book that I read, I didn't like it. There's different problems with it, but the biggest problem was it was such a huge story where Luke fights Darth Vader before Empire Strikes Back, where they have an AT-AT walking through a base, smashing things up. I mean, it's this galactic scale, and here again, it's pretty big scale. At first, it seemed like a small scale story. I'm like, oh, this makes sense. It's small scale, but they keep ramping it up. They get an Imperial Star Destroyer, and then they get a whole bunch of ships involved. I'm like, oh god. And then the biggest problem, right? This whole idea of getting the refugees of Alderaan to start a new colony, they never mention it in the movie. It doesn't exist. Not one single reference. Nothing doesn't happen.
See,
Jacob, is there a reference? Maybe I missed it.
No, but see, I think you wouldn't like a lot of the expanded universe stuff because a lot of big stuff happens that they just don't mention later on in the movies because they can't be. But for me, it's just like a lot of big things happen that you don't mention in everyday occurrences.
Sure.
In the movies, if they focus more on Princess Leia in the movies, then I'd be like, well, why didn't why didn't she ever talk about this new colony?
Her whole planet was destroyed, Jacob, and now. Granted, Star Wars has a thing where bad stuff happens and immediately no one cares. Like Luke's parents die and he doesn't care.
Yeah.
There's one scene of him being sad and it's never mentioned again. He's never sad again. I don't want to say what happens in the new movie. Something sad happens and 2 scenes later everyone's fine. Yeah. Right. That's the kind of thing in Star Wars where they get over things really quickly.
And the whole thing in the movies too is, Obi-Wan in the original Star Wars movie, Obi-Wan dies and then you see Princess Leia consoling Luke. Who, for this old guy that he knew for 2 days, her whole planet just blew up and no one's consoling her. Everyone that she ever knew died, and then just yeah, whatever, you're fine, you're a princess.
there's literally one scene, it gets blown up and then she kind of screams.
Yeah.
And then Obi-Wan's I sense a great loss in the Force or something.
Yeah, and that's it.
That's it, right? So not only was that bizarre just in the movie, but Star Wars does that.
Yeah.
It also made this more bizarre for me. She seemed to care a lot more than I've ever seen her care about anything in the movies. Yeah. So it didn't seem to get her character right, I felt.
And also, even though I liked the artwork, it was weird because it didn't make her look like Princess Leia at all.
Yeah, no, she doesn't look like Princess Leia. I'm like, who is that?
Yeah, I liked the artwork, but it was a little bit too cartoony for Star Wars. The artwork in the Star Wars ongoing series, that was really good. I thought it was fine.
It was fine.
It made everyone look like what they were supposed to look like.
Yes.
But in this,
Princess Leia is really I just don't think they get it right.
Yeah, and there's a new comic that you're gonna read soon. It's called Star Wars Shattered Empire, and everyone really looks like they're supposed to look like in that. Like it's really good artwork in that. And but this it was just a cool nod to, you know, like have it like start off like right after episode 4. They're just trying to fill in the gaps because the old expanded universe, you know, there was so much.
That's the problem. I think that's an inherent problem. Fill in the gaps. Sometimes there's just not much happening.
Yeah, I know.
So, but everything has to be a gap that needs to be filled in by exciting stuff.
I know, and there's another book where you reveal that Chewie gets his medal that also happens right after the ceremony, and then she sends Han and Chewie to go on to this planet to rescue this guy. It's never mentioned in this comic, and it happens in the middle of like the first issue.
This is a problem when you have these massive expanded universes with a bunch of different writers. No one's watching anyone too closely.
Yeah.
Like there's not enough collaboration going on. I think
there definitely is but it's solely for the purpose to not, you know,
contradict.
It's solely for that, and not to be like, well, they never mentioned that in this, so it doesn't really make any sense for us.
Right. And another thing I didn't like about this, so I mentioned how I didn't like some of the grander schemes of it. I also just didn't like the comic book page to page.
Yeah.
I didn't like a lot of the dialogue. Like a lot of dialogue, I thought it was terrible.
Yeah,
it was really awkward.
Yeah, I didn't love the dialogue, but yeah, I see what you mean.
It's like they're just doing like classic comic book like, hey, what are we doing now? This is what we're doing. I feel sad about this. What do you feel about that? How are you? Like they're like everything has to be said. They don't bother at all like using the fact they have a visual medium here to their advantage.
Yeah.
It's like they show it visually and they have to say it. Like I just saw it. It's on the page. It's not like a book. You know what I mean? And then some of the decisions were just like they seem arbitrary. At one point, there's an Alderaanian that like fights back against Leia with like a group of rogue Alderaanians. Like, oh, we're not with you, Princess Leia. Yeah. Very quickly, that woman switches sides. Yeah. And back to Leia's side, and then like a few panels later, they have another scene of her like seem like that she's turning her back again on him. And it's like she's this weird character that doesn't seem to serve any purpose except to like move plot points along or to stretch things out.
See, for me, I just like seeing. I like seeing what takes place in between the gaps, even when it's not that interesting. Like I'm reading this book right now called it's I can't remember what it's called, but it's
it was such a great book.
It's 2 books in one, so it doesn't say the title of it on there. So, but it's about the 2 characters from Rebels, and it's
Biggs and Wedge.
No, it's from the Rebels TV show, and it talks about how they met. But it's really boring. Like, it's just mining the whole time, and in this mine, just like breaking rocks and stuff. It's like, what's going on here? But I still like it because it's Star Wars, and that's how I felt with this. It wasn't terribly boring because I like seeing Princess Leia being a badass. We never get to see that much of that in any of the. That's
another problem too. At one point, she jumps on some giant forearm dude, headbutts the guy. She needs some people. She's like a martial artist now.
She's a little too much of a bitch.
Yeah, I was like, what? I don't ever see her doing any of that crazy physical stuff in the movie. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, I know, but for me,
it would look ridiculous in the movie because Carrie Fisher's like, she's a small woman, she's like 5'2", jumping on like a giant dude, headbutting the guy. It would be ridiculous.
Yeah, it is a little ridiculous, but I just liked it because it was Star Wars. It was an adventure. I thought it definitely had that Star Wars feel to it. Could you say that as much at least? No.
I don't know. I almost want to give this like a horrible horse, but I'm gonna give it a medium minus. That's not quite the bottom of the barrel.
I'm gonna give it a medium plus.
See, your Star Wars fandom is clouding your judgment.
No, I liked it.
Anyways, what's up next on the Shane Reads? What are you forcing me? What are you brutalizing me?
We're still going with Marvel because Star Wars comics are published by Marvel now, but we're pushing up from Star Wars to Ultimate Spider-Man. I'm a really big fan of the Ultimate universe. It's smaller scale, but still a little bit jumbled up with a bunch of characters.
Not much smaller scale.
But it's a good starting point, I think. And this is the series that they started with. They didn't have anything like X-Men or that for at least a few volumes after this. So, first volume, Spider-Man, Power and Responsibility.
Oh my! Stay tuned. Ultimate Spider-Man, Volume 1, Power and Responsibility. Either way, we meet Geeks at the Movies.